welcome to my channel. So this is going to be a breastfeeding update for me and my daughter Holly, and also like a breastfeeding tips and essentials, like things you'll need while you're breastfeeding. So this would be a good video to watch if you're expecting and you're about to have a baby, or if you're struggling with breastfeeding. I hope this will be a good help for you all. So let's go ahead and start. So basically I'll start with my experience with my daughter Holly. She's 5 months old. Basically, I'll just tell you how my journey started with her and, you know, how we're doing right now. So, as of right now, we're fully, exclusively, you know, breastfeeding. I'm breastfeeding her exclusively for about 5 months now, but the journey that we started was really, really rough. And I'll tell you why in just a second. It's kind of part of the birth story and stuff, so yeah, just bear with me. So basically, right after my C-section, if you guys all know, I had a C-section. In recovery, the nurses always try to really encourage the skin-to-skin contact, and I got that actually right after they finished my surgery. So I was still in the surgery room, and she was placed on my chest, which was amazing. I didn't get that with my son, which is kind of sad to say, but I didn't get that with him. But once they rolled me back to recovery, they had me try to get her to latch, and she latched right away, just like her brother did. And that was just such a beautiful moment, and her first latch was perfect. And I will actually insert a picture here now of what a perfect latch looks like. It's not going to be a real picture, I'll give you that. It's going to be like a little diagram. So yeah, I'll insert that now. So yeah, basically that's how your baby's supposed to latch. Like, you know, the lips are supposed to be wide open. You know, when you're about to feed your baby, their mouths have to be like wide open. And so, if they're not like wide open and their lips kind of tucked under, you're gonna have issues, and that's where I ran into problems with my daughter. So basically, that's what she was doing, and I didn't really realize it. Even though I breastfed before, I don't really remember of, you know, what my experience was like, you know, right at first. Then again, it was like 3 years ago since I had my son, so breastfeeding was kind of like fresh to me, even though I kind of knew a few things still, but it was still kind of new to me. So I had more issues with my daughter than I did with my son with breastfeeding, and it's just because of her latch. She kept latching wrong. Her bottom lip kept getting tucked under, and she was only latched onto the tip of my nipple. And your baby's supposed to have the whole nipple, almost the whole nipple, in their mouth, so they can get that good suction and they won't cause you any pain. But with my experience, I had a lot of pain. I was getting chapped. And when I had to go back to the hospital for my high blood pressure, that's when it was really getting hard, because I had an IV put in right here, so I couldn't really like cradle her right to get her to latch. And so she was having issues with that too, so I had to have like lactation consultants come in and try to help me. And I'm so glad that they did, that they are so helpful. Let those consultants help you, because it does help a lot, and you're gonna need it. Because, you know, you think, you know, at first, oh, I've done it before, or even if you haven't done it before, you think it's kind of easy, you think it'd be easy, but for some women it is, don't get me wrong, but for my experience it was really hard, especially for the second time, even though I already knew kind of what to do, even though I breastfed before with my son. So if you have any questions in the hospital, ask away. Like, when I was in the hospital with my daughter, I asked every single question that popped in my head, even if I thought it was silly, and I always felt relief, and I always got the help that I needed. So basically my experience was, when I went back, like I said, I had high blood pressure, so I basically had postpartum preeclampsia. So I was in the hospital probably for a total of 5 or 6 days. I was only home for 1 day, like 3 days after my C-section, and I had to go back for like 2 or 3 more days. So because of where my IV was, my IV placement, I was having issues, and she actually was throwing up, like spitting up blood. By that time, when I was in the hospital the second time, my milk came in, and my husband set her down in her little bassinet thing that they had at the hospital, and she just spit up blood. And that was a really difficult thing to see, and we were freaking out, and we were so thankful that it happened there, but I kind of had a feeling it was because of me. I was actually bleeding from my nipples, like badly. Like she was getting mostly some blood, which it didn't hurt my daughter, but it was enough to freak us out, and that's when the lactation consultants came in and they helped me and gave me some Lanaso nipple cream to help with the issues, and they helped me latch too, and they had to have my husband kind of help me latch her on too as well. So I mean, that was the only issues that I had with her, was like in the hospital. And then when we were in the hospital, she was actually supplemented with formula just because my milk didn't come in right away like it should have. Like when you have a C-section, most times your milk doesn't come in right away like it should if you have a vaginal birth. So yeah, my milk didn't come in until later, so she actually needed that nourishment. So with my son too, I did the same thing. I supplemented him with formula as well because I had a C-section with him too. So yeah, that's kind of how like we started off with breastfeeding, and then now we have like no issues whatsoever. In the past, probably like a month ago, I did have a clogged duct, and I would tell you one thing, a couple things to do with that. If you guys feel like you're having an issue with that, it's actually pretty painful. You could feel it in your breast. You have like a lump in your breast, and all you gotta do is like massage the area and feed your baby constantly out of that side. And then of course, you know, switch back and forth to the other side so it doesn't happen on your other side too. But just, you gotta try to unclog it, because if you don't get it unclogged, it will turn into mastitis. So yeah, you don't want that to happen, and you'll need antibiotics, and you're not going to feel very well. When you get mastitis, you're going to start feeling body aches, like you've got the flu, and you don't want to be sick when you have a new baby. It's hard. I actually just recovered from a cold with, excuse me one second. So yeah, we just actually, my whole family, besides my husband of course, we just recovered from a really bad cold. Like it literally lasted for 2 weeks. And being sick with a toddler and a baby, it was very rough. And I'm a stay-at-home mom too, so while my husband was at work, you know, I was taking care of 2 kids while I was sick. And that was really, really hard. That was definitely a hard 2 weeks for me, especially the first week. So anyway, back to what I was saying. A good way to get rid of the clogged duct is, of course, to massage, like I said. And what really helped me was to take a hot bath and just have your breast that's having issues just kind of lay in the hot water and just massage it some more. And then when I think I picked up my daughter once, and I just started leaking like a lot out of that side, and that's how I knew that I fixed the problem. So I know how to kind of fix it, and you can even get like, I think it's cabbage. You can put cabbage on your breast. That helps too. I haven't tried that, but it might be something that you guys might want to try. It's up to you. I mean, you know. Okay, so I'm going to basically go on for things that you need to breastfeed. I won't show you every single thing that I've got that really helped me, but I'll tell you the one major thing that helped me the best, and that's a boppy pillow. And that thing is literally a lifesaver. Like, you want to bring that to the hospital with you too, especially if you have a C-section, because it'll give you, you know, it'll just make you feel much better from your incision, because of all the pillows and stuff. The pillows they have really suck because they're so flat and they don't really work very well. So I highly suggest investing in a boppy pillow. Now, I've used mine with my son, so I actually kept mine over the years, and I will never get rid of that thing because it's sentimental to me because I fed my babies on it. So yeah, a boppy pillow, and of course I've got my breastfeeding supplies down here to show you. And this is just a basic pump, and I will tell you one thing, you're going to need a pump, because if you have a clogged duct, that's another thing. I forgot to mention, when you have a clogged duct, pump too. Like after your baby's done feeding, even though you're not really getting a lot of milk out of it, still pump. And I mean, your nipple might get kind of sore, so use the nipple cream as you're trying to go through this process of the healing, you know, just trying to get that taken care of. So yeah, this is just what hooks up to your pump itself. This collects the milk. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Basically, this goes on your boob, and your milk gets collected in the bottle, and usually the hospital gives you actually some storage bottles and stuff. So I got like a ton of these. This is actually one that I got from the hospital, and they come with lids, and they're already like they came in like packages and stuff that they were already cleaned, so they're ready to use. So make sure you ask for those. Make sure you get a ton of those because those are going to be very helpful. Let's see, these are my Medela. There's a lot of spots in it. I gotta wash these again. But these are my Medela bottles that I use, and they hold up to about 5 ounces of breast milk. And I've got my pump in here. This is I don't actually use this like at all because I thought it was terrible, but I mean it works for some women, so why not? So this is actually a manual pump that I got at the hospital with my son, and this just adjusts to how strong your pump is, and you just hook up your bottle to this, I believe. Doesn't look like it. I'm not sure. But I know this is a manual pump. See, I don't know. I never used this. I think I used it with my son like 3 years ago, like once or twice, and I hated it. It didn't work as well. Use that. I don't think. That's basically all you really need, and of course you're gonna need like nursing pads. I actually don't use nursing pads. I really don't. It's kind of crazy if you think about it. Yeah, I don't use them at all. I've got nursing bras that actually have pads built into them. And I'm actually wearing one right now that it's an underwire nursing bra. And it's pretty thin, so I'm kind of surprised I've never leaked through. But now I'm making like 6 ounces of milk plus a day. Your iPad's dead. Oh, it's okay. We'll fix it in a minute. Can mommy finish? But yeah, you're gonna need a nursing bra. So yeah, invest in few of those, like 4 of them, because you're gonna need them to help feed your baby while you're in public or anywhere. Usually when I'm at home alone, I don't wear a bra. It's just me because I hate wearing a bra. So yeah, nursing bras. Invest in like 4 of them because I have 4. I have 2 underwire and like 2 sports bra type kinds. And I think the next things that you'll need is the nipple cream. Of course, you're going to need a nipple cream. Yeah, nipple cream, get some of that. The brand that I like is Lanaso, I think. Lanaso Lanolin. I think that's what I use. I've actually got a couple bottles around the house. I've actually never really had to use it since Holly was a newborn, just because I've been breastfeeding her for so long that I think we got it down. We got it down now, and I know how to get her to latch, and she knows how to do it, and we've got it, and it's such a beautiful experience. Now, okay, I know a lot of people are like fed is best, which it is. You know, your preference is it's your choice, but if you are 100% capable of breastfeeding, like, you know, you should breastfeed. Like, seriously, like, I watched a video. It was this woman, she got her breast milk and she mixed formula and then she put it underneath a microscope. And there's such a huge difference in both of them. The breast milk had all kinds of, like, it looked like it was thriving with, like, life. Like, you know, little bubbles, you know, it looked like nutrients, like healthy nutrients, healthy bacteria, and all that. And then she showed the formula. I'll actually link the video to that right below to show you guys, because I mean it's unbelievable, but it is believable. If that makes any sense. But the formula, it showed nothing. Like, it showed maybe like one little tiny little bubble or something in it, but it showed nothing. So the only reasons why, you know, I judge some women just because I know if they're able to breastfeed, you know, and they choose formula, that's where I'm like, why? Why would you do that? Because your baby's missing out on so much, you know, nutrients. And when we had this cold that I was telling you about, it was such a bad cold, but Holly did get it, but she had only a tiny, very tiny runny nose for like 2 days out of the whole time. We were all severely sick. And I think that's because I was breastfeeding. Cool, good job. Bless you. So yeah, it's just, breastfeeding is such a healthier choice, and of course, if you're in like situations where you are unable to breastfeed, like you have a medical condition where you're unable to breastfeed, I have no problems there. That's just my personal opinion, because I breastfed 2 babies, and yeah, it was really hard in the beginning. That's the thing, you have to stick through the first few weeks of the first month of breastfeeding. Is probably the hardest month of feeding you will have with feeding your baby. But like, you know, you just want to, it's kind of hard for me to talk about it. I'm so sorry. And I'm really not trying to offend anyone that has fed their baby with formula. You know, it's just really hard for me to see that, you know, a woman tried really hard with breastfeeding and they end up giving up, which is, you know, I get it. It's very, very hard. I almost gave up myself a few times with both of my kids, and I stuck through it. It's a lot of willpower, and I stuck through it, especially when I had, like I was telling you guys, I was having all that bleeding. I mean, I like cringed every time she would latch onto me, and it was so painful. So I get why some women give up, but please, for the sake of your baby and for your own health as well, I think it lowers your risk of like some sorts of cancer, like especially breast cancer and stuff. I totally get it. You know, breastfeeding it's hard, and you know, kudos to all of you who have tried and made it through, like me. You know, it takes a lot of self-confidence and a lot of, what is the word? I can't think of the word. Willpower. That's the word. Well, the camera's shaking, I don't know why. But yeah, willpower. It takes a lot of willpower to breastfeed. So yeah, I mean, I just, like, you know, I judge the women that are just like, no, I won't breastfeed at all, even though they probably are completely capable of doing it, you know, or they give up so quickly, you know, so early on. That's where I have a hard time, you know, seeing stuff like that, because it's just so much better for your baby. And I'll tell you with experience, my toddler, he gets sick, but he doesn't get sick very often. Like, you know, he gets sick maybe like 4 times out of the year. Maybe less than that. I think it's less than that, because, you know, like, he's already got a cold, and it's August, and he's really had a cold. So I mean, we'll see how the rest of this year goes. I mean, so he's only got sick once this year so far, and that's it. Now during the winter it's different. So he might get sick a couple more times, so we'll see how that works. That is all I have for you guys in this video for today. I hope you guys found this video very helpful, and to all of those that are expecting and that are about to have their baby, congratulations in advance, and I'm so happy for you guys. Trust me, babies are my thing. I love babies. As you can tell, I've got 2 of my own, so yeah, I hope you guys found this video very helpful. Please hit that subscribe button if you guys want to see more, and hit that notification bell as well so you guys are notified when I post my next video. And if you guys have any questions about breastfeeding or anything like that, please comment right below. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye bye.